Okay, so for my tutorial, I'm doing Sony Vegas Movie Studio 9 Platinum Edition. Now, there's a lot of features on this. I'm only going to go over a few. Okay, so most important, the two most important things you need to know. This is the preview window. If preview window where it'll show me an idea of what this project is going to look like. This is the timeline. It's going to show me it shows me a sequence of events that are happening within the movie. Okay, so those are the two most important things. Now, in order to import a clip, you can do it one of two ways. You can use their integrated browsing Explorer window, which I would not recommend, or you can just use good old-fashioned Explorer window and just drag and drop the clip that you need. I've already selected the clip that I need and put it right here. First, another thing you need to know, you need to click this save button fairly frequently because this program is resource intensive and it can crash. And believe me, you don't want to lose all your progress. So I'm just going to grab this and drag it down right in here. So at this point, I'm going to show you what this looks like without any video editing. Okay, for this next part, I'm actually going to be adding some video effects. Now, I've put most of the video effects I'm going to be using already where I want them to go, just for the sake of time. So, I'm going to just grab one effect and show you how this is done. Two ways these effects can be added. I can drag it directly into the clip, or I can drag it directly into the timeline. Dragging it in the clip makes it so that the effect only applies to this particular clip. If I had more clips here, dragging it into the timeline would be a more favorable option. But just because I do this all the time when I'm video editing, I'm going to just drop it directly into the timeline. Now, you'll notice that a lot of these options are disabled. They're disabled because I wanted to show you guys how this changes the picture. Now, I'm going to enable brightness and contrast. And, I don't know. I'm going to just increase the brightness a little. Oh no, that's a little too bright. Let's take it down a notch. And then, take the contrast up. And, oh, that should be good. Now I'm going to go ahead and mess with the color balance. Generally, you want to, sort of mess around with this so you can get exactly the way you want. So let's see. Yeah, it looks about right. And now to just add some film grain. I mean, in order to really get a sense on how these effects, change the image, you need to just play around with them. I mean, there's no other way of doing it. You can't really have someone exactly tell you how to make it look a certain way because there's at least 5 different ways to make it look somewhat like that. So, yeah, it looks about right. Now let's just play around with the glow a little. Just, in some of these options, like, the designers must not have been thinking, because if, like, one option's down at 0, you see like none of these do anything without the intensity being up a little. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't really want it to be glowing that much. So let's just get rid of it. So in order to get rid of an effect, you can just click out this checkbox and it won't be called into play. But if you have a lot of effects running, you're most likely going to click this button and remove the effect entirely from the list. And so I'm going to do that right now. Just click this button and boom, it's gone. No longer a problem. Now, if I were to, be, let's say right about here, I want, I don't know, the brightness to go up. So I'm going to go right here and make it a little brighter. As I'm going through the timeline, it's gradually going to be increasing the brightness. So that is adding a video effect. I'm going to go over next how to add text to the program. Okay, now text in this piece of software acts a little bit more differently than you'd expect. It's treated as a video file that has parts of it transparent, and I'm going to show you what I mean. First off, it's not in any of these windows, so I have to navigate over to View and go down to Media Generators because it's not exactly a video type media. It's something the program generates. And now I've gone down to Text, and I'm just going to choose the default and drag it into the topmost video region. So now let's say I don't like this text. Well, this works a lot like Microsoft Word. I just type something in like hello and it appears up right on the screen. Same thing with the sizing. I could mess around with the size of the text to pretty much any degree that I want. But let's say, I don't know, let's leave this at 60 and let's make it so I go over to placement and let's just say, I don't know, I want it right up here. So I can put this wherever I really want to. It's generally a good idea to keep it inside the red box though. You don't want it riding up on the corner of the screen. That tends to make it less visible. So, and you can add all sorts of properties to it, like change the font color. I'm just going to go back with white. And I can make it so that it's spaced out or squished all together. There's really a lot you can do with this. Scaling, making it bigger. There's two options to making it bigger. Who knew? You can also change the background. You can completely blot out the background and, well, quite frankly, you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to change it to completely transparent again. And, I don't really want it to be saying hello the entire time because that would be kind of annoying. So I am just going to go to, let's say right here in this little mini-me timeline that will dictate how long it says hello. I'm going to put right here and just now go over back to edit and say hello Bob. And make it so at that point it's moved over here. See? It changes the text as it goes. Video effects have the same exact thing, it's just it changes the way the effects work. This is kind of a weird area in the video editing. It's treated as both an effect and a video at the same time. So I'm generally happy with it saying hello Bob, even though I don't like Bob. Okay, so, and well, I don't want him saying hello Bob the entire time, so right about here, I'm going to make it so that hello Bob goes away. Let's see, about 5 seconds in. Okay. And, you know, I think that's pretty good with the text. Okay, so now here's the fun part. Well, one of many fun parts about using the software. Adding audio. Now, when you saw the video, you noticed that there was a lot of stuff happening and you couldn't really tell what was going on. That's because the sound is not actually in the video yet. So, what we need to do now is add it in. So, I've already dragged in the audio files that we need. You drag them in the same way that you would a video file. You just go through the Explorer window and drag the file into either here or into the timeline directly. Now, this guy's, you know, wiping the screen and it's not making any noise. I think we should change that. Let's add this file right here. Just put it right there. And oh wait, it's starting prematurely. Let's, you know, just drag it right about here. And let's just see how this goes. And just keep it going until he stops wiping. Okay, the problem is that the guy's wiping on the screen longer than the actual clip. Sony Vegas has a really cool feature. If I just hold down the right mouse button and just drag over, it'll continuously loop the audio file until it reaches this little marker on the timeline, which is the seeker. So, now that I've gone up to right there, I need to add another file, because, you know, he's hearing something. You can't really tell what it is because it hasn't been added yet. This audio file right here is the audio file from the actual video itself. It's just something you have to watch out for, because sometimes you don't want to drop something on top of it, because that generally is not a good idea. It just ends up covering up the video. I mean, it ends up covering up the audio portion of this. So I'm going to just drag this so it starts just a little bit into the wiping. So let's see how this goes. He's just wiping it down. Here's a growling. Oh wait, the video file went on too long. He's now scared of something and it's not on there. So I'm actually going to have to cut the audio file short. So let's just go back down and cut it off right about here. Let's see where that is. Okay, now oh hey, what do you know? I actually forgot to add an audio file. How embarrassing. So, just going to go over the import on this. Just go over to wherever you have the audio file stored. And, oh, let's drag this one in. So, okay, that's definitely scary. Okay, so drag this in. Oh yeah, he's definitely has something to be afraid of. But you know, he goes into that door and has no reason to leave. Now, I'm just going to, I know this audio clip is too long, so I'm going to open up something called the trimmer. This can be used in both video and audio files. It allows you to select an area of a clip of audio video origin and just drag it down, and it only has that little bit right there. If I were to drag this out, instead of it looping, it would just reveal more of this track. So it's something you have to keep in mind when you're doing this. So he goes in there and, uh-oh. And I don't know, let's just copy this. Paste it right here. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Uh-oh. Looks like I have to show you guys the undo button because I just pasted something where something should not be. So in order to undo, you go to Edit, Undo Paste Event. And I'm going to make sure this timeline is in the right, this little marker is in the right spot, and I'm going to hit Paste. And I'm going to just drag this out so he's growling longer. Okay. Okay. Now, this clip is too long. I'm actually going to have to shorten it. So I think right about where the marker is a good place to stop. So I'm going to just drag this out to right about here, and I've just shortened the entire clip. But I want to have it fade out a little because, you know, no one likes those clips that just suddenly cut out. So you see this little curve? Whenever I go over the corner, it gives me a fade out option. So I can just drag this in and have it fade out right there. So see, it fades right out. So that's adding audio files right there. And yeah, I accidentally put in a little bit of video editing. So now it's on to the part where you actually have to upload this to YouTube. Well, get it ready to be uploaded. So now we're going to finalize the video. So in order to do this, we're going to have to click on this completely unobvious button called Make Movie. So, and yes, I guess we should save it to the hard drive. Now, I realize this is in HD, but this HD settings are not exactly acceptable for YouTube standards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak the settings so it'll end up being better. So let's let's go and change the settings. Good is good, but best is better. So let's change it to the best it can be. And we don't really need to mess with the audio that much, but just for the heck of it, let's just make it as high as we can make it. And, well, let's see. Let's go to video. Let's make this as smooth as possible. Okay, just check. And, oh, 8 is good, but 11 is better. So let's go with 11. And let's just go and check over everything. Let's see. Nope, it looks like everything is the way it should be, so I'm going to just hit OK. Now, this is the part where I'm going to have to cut off because this won't go very well if I have the capture software running while I'm doing this. So let's I may have to cut off right here, and once this is done, I'm going to show you guys what the finalized product looks like. Okay, so